name is Isabella, and now I'm going to talk about LBJ versus Ronald Reagan. The Great Society that was created by Lyndon B. Johnson was often seen as the complete opposite of the Reagan Revolution because it focused on different topics. The main topic that he focused was expanding the role of the government, which was the complete opposite that Reagan believed. He believed in a small government that didn't have as much as a big of a role than what LBJ wanted. LBJ believed that it was the government's responsibility to reduce the poverty and improve the education and provide the healthcare through programs like the Medicare and Medicaid. His goal was to create a society more equal by helping those who were struggling, those that needed money, and he, even if it meant that he had to hire the taxes and for the government to be more involved in people's lives. So, on the other hand, Ronald Reagan believed that too much government, too much involvement on it was actually going to cause more problems instead of solving them. He thought that having large welfare programs made people too dependent on the government and slow the economic growth. So instead of him expanding the programs, he decided to cut taxes, reduce the spending, and to encourage individuals to rely on themselves and not rely on the government. This made their government approaches totally different. So Johnson wanted to trust on the government and he felt like he had to fix the social issues, while Reagan wanted to turn into the free market and the individual effort. So trying to not rely on the government as much. So their opposing ideas show the different visions they had on America and how they would have to solve these problems of poverty and inequality. Depending on what you think, so I think that LBJ had a better answer on how to handle this property because at the end, well, they both try to focus on important things. So Johnson's approach was more to provide help, healthcare, education, financial assistance, and this really helped many Americans, like the elderly, the poor, and it really improved the civil rights. But many argue that this was too expensive and it just created long term government dependency. While Reagan's government was opposite. He wanted to cut taxes, have personal responsibility, and to stimulate the economy. It made the business stronger and led to many job creations and wanted to create national growth. So this was more criticized on the way that it really increased the income inequality and didn't help the lower income Americans as much as LBJ created this net. So in the end, they both had their strengths and weaknesses, but I think that the better answer depends on whether you believe that the government should be involved in the people and how to manage the economy or to them to step back and let each one of us focus on the businesses and drive to success. Then this comparison teaches us that nowadays American politics is still very much alive, like how LBJ and Reagan's ideas are put in. So many still argue about taxes, healthcare, and poverty, and still disagree on how the government should be. While others some support LBJ's ideas, some others support Reagan's ideas. So having these debates are still going to be discussed throughout their whole lives. So it still shapes political opinions and public parties. So overall, LBJ and Reagan philosophies will still influence how leaders and citizens will still solve problems in the United States.